offered me some curry then. And curry I don't like, but I had to eat it. Curry. I ate. Get into a taxi, you sit down before you get in. 70%, 70%. Sit down before you get in. Let's do this. Mbalula is about himself. I mean, how can I be about himself? An example of me being about himself is him. And then today he says I'm about himself. An example of me being about himself, about myself, it's him.
Issues, I just need to know where are the pods. That's all I need to know.
Where are the pods? Yeah. There's no pods because I made the things that it cannot make that pods to be done.
I don't know if anybody understands.
You can't understand.
Now I'm going to say to Pravin Gordhan, I was with him there, I was also a minister of transport. Comrade Pravin, move faster, or otherwise we will move you. Comrade Pravin, move faster and Transnet, or otherwise we will move you. So I had to clarify that. And even Pravin, because Pravin didn't feel good, you know, when I said move or be moved. So I didn't say move from cabinet. I was saying move faster or you will be moved, like we'll push you. You see? Yeah. No, not. Where I'm seated, from the work that is being done by government and ministers and so on, the load shedding before the end of the year should have been something of the past.
Serious?
Yes.
Load shedding by the end of this year will be something of the past.
By end of this year, if all...
It sounds familiar because it's what the two presidents said.
That's why I don't want to say to you that I said this and it did not happen. But I can assure you that load shedding will be reversed and it will be dealt with. And here can no make a time frames. Ngoba kuthiwa hayi ANC ikhokhelwa ngamaqo dirani Eskom. Iyazalaphi load shedding izawuvuka namhlanje nangomso. Dirani Eskom. Dithetha into ethethwa yi-ANC sifuna i-load shedding iphele ngoDisemba. Anirani Eskom. Irana nini Eskom? Eskom ibirana lela uwetu leqoki nomlungu. Elavuka ngenye imini lathi ndiyemka. Wahamba kuthiwa ngubani udirector. Ndingudirector nakanjonga. Yasimile. Hey Mbalula said. Hey opposition ayinazi indaba man. Ayabanazo shame. In defense of our president, we went to Parliament and opened an ad hoc committee and said a swimming pool is a fire pool. We are going to swimming pool leyo data. Sayichincha sathi fire pool. Uminister of police ebile khophe engaselanga tywala. Ubona ukuthi lento bubuxoki kunzima uexplain ubuxoki kaloku. People have lost their careers because of that thing. Yaye constitutional court. Yathi si voter in two weeks time. Wabuya umkhweng get judgment enjani. Wabetha upresident wethu wathi he's not fit for office. Samnyamezela. And loo nto ayichuwanga ndim ukuthi is not fit for office, yayibhalwe phansi i-court judgment. Yilaa tshomi yakhe umrhwemrhwe, ndiyambona yitshomi ngoku, bajayiva bobabini andimbazi. But umrhwemrhwe wakhupha i-judgment, wabasa umsholozi, samnyamezela. Namhlanje uthi akakwazi unyamezela upresident wethu ongazange wabethwa i-judgment.
Ezi sihlalo sikuzo sizibolekiwe. Noba uZuma ngandibiza ngo-12 andinangxaki msholozi ndibize, undihlise kwesi sihlalo ndizawuhlala ndikwi-ANC. Undibolekile Ncamalala, ndiyabulela.
I-renewal ibuhlungu ke comrade, ihamba ngo-step aside. Aba bantu nibabona bematsha emini ilanga litshisa bethi bayojoyina umkhonto wesizwe, nibajonge bonke batyiwa si-step aside. Nibajonge, ndibone nomnye ngaphaya osajongene namatyala, inkunzi yesigebenga ngapha emkhonto. Nina nizokhutsha ephaweni zisigebenga, amasephelele kulaa nto, bayalandelana, ungababiza ngamagama bonke. Zikhona ingxaki sisilindi, amajoni wethu akanalisesekanga indlela esiwaphathe ngayo, siyayilungisa loo nto.
And Fikile Mbalula has been your real nemesis this year politically since he became the Secretary General of the ANC in December. Where does that beef, if I'm to call it that, come from? Because, I mean, others would assume that perhaps, as you just said now, that you would put your name up for president. He himself has presidential ambitions. Is it about that? About who becomes president first between the two of you?
No, Mbalula uses people. There are so many people, I don't want to call their names, that he used. So Mbalula, when he loses position, he will frequent your house as often as you can imagine, to a point where even the cleaners can't differentiate whether he stays here or he doesn't stay here. Once he gets a position, the first people to reject are the people he spent sleepless nights with. And I've got a long list of such people. Even now, don't think that if Mbalula gets outvoted as the Secretary General of the ANC, he will not reach out to me or to any of the people he's not talking to now. Every time he gets into power, some drunkenness overpowers him, and he doesn't take the people he lives with, his own people, serious. So he uses people and then dump them like that. And I've known, I mean, when we formed the EFF, Mbalula discarded us, never wanted anything to do with us. And then when he now started wanting to be the Secretary General of the ANC, he came back to me. We were spending the days and nights together. Even when he went to Nazareth to be elected Secretary General, we were speaking day in, day out, came back to the conference, was in my space and all of that. Once he assumed that position, he started now calling us names. And because some people said Malema made his match in Mbalula and nothing went into his crazy head. But always when there are tensions between me and Mbalula, for whatever reason, when we meet, we have always been cordial. Until I met him now at Prince Mangosuthu Buthelez's funeral, I could sense the tension because he came greeting everybody, and when he came to greeting me, he doubted whether he must come greet me, and I know him when he doesn't like people. So I could see that now we've reached the real point of disliking each other, and I don't care about it. He can go. So I don't care. And I'm the one who said to him there at Prince Mangosuthu, he wanted to avoid Msholos. I said, greet Msholos. And I went to greet Msholos. So he's personal like that. He's childish like that. He thinks that power never comes to an end. But what does he do with power? What does he do? I mean, he's nothing that There is nothing that you can say, oh, this guy is in power, and therefore because he's in power, I won't get 1, 2, 3. He won't block anything for you. He won't do anything for you. So he can as well just enjoy that power. We don't care about it.
What if he becomes the next president? Because he's very close with the office that he has, at least through the ANC. I mean, in the next conference, he can become a president if he wants.
That is their own thing. We really don't care whether he becomes president or he doesn't become president. He's a secretary general now. And they said he's going to restore the ANC and he's going to make sure the ANC gets its a 2/3 majority and its majority in the next elections. Let's see that. Let's see that, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're going to fight them bitterly, with or without Mbalula. If anything, it is Mbalula who's going to discredit the last remaining smallanyana dignity of the ANC.